Hello, my name is Selena. This is my persuasive speech. My topic is child molestation. Um, Child molestation can happen to anybody. I just want to inform you about child molestation because it happens all the time. Talking about it can help someone open up about it. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the laws of prevention, the signs, and so forth. Um, you ask, what is child molestation? Well, child molestation is sexual intercourse between an adult and a child. Now, in WFAA news reported that a Penn State child sex abuse case goes to jury. In that case, this man was a predator and sexually abused 10 men in 15 years. Now, that's saying something. He was also a coach for the school, which says something else, like we need to watch out for the people that we hire and watch out for the kids. If you notice that anything is going wrong, then you should probably ask and try to either get them help, whether it's whatever they're going through. Because this was a coach, a guy that was in school, and you're supposed to trust your kids in school. We can try to prevent child molestation, but I will talk about that later on in this speech. So I have talked to you about what child molestation is. Now it's time to talk to you about laws. State laws cannot be broken no matter what they are. If they are, there are serious consequences. It is illegal for an adult to have sexual intercourse with a child, even if the child consents to it. Like if a grown man, say 26, asks a 15-year-old, would you want to have sex? And the 15-year-old said yes, and they still had sexual intercourse, it is still committed as child molestation because the kid is under 18. A child is considered under 18. So even though they consented, it's still against the law because they're still a minor. And minors, they don't really know what they're doing. So yes, they consent to it, but it's still against the law, even if the kid said it was okay. Some states have different laws about child molestation. With like in Texas, I know it's a big thing. If you get caught with an underage kid, then you're gonna be going to jail for a while. Let's talk about how to prevent it because this happens all the time. It is very bad. It's very scary too because that means that your kid could go out riding a bike and he disappears and you don't know why. He got kidnapped. She could have got sexually assaulted. She could have died because somebody killed her. Like, these are very, very sad things, and it happens all the time. We can't trust our kids outside anymore just to go play in the front yard unless we're watching them, and that's a very scary thing. So you should tell people about child molestation. Tell them how bad it is and what we can do. Like, we have a lot of neighborhoods say that they have watchdogs and they have crime people, but you never see them. You never see them. And when you call the cops about something like that, it takes them forever to find them. So I think we as a neighborhood, we as people should come together and talk about child molestation. Talk about what you know, research it, focus on why adults do this to young kids. Some are just mentally ill. Some do it for the fun. Some do it because they just they just like they just like little girls, which is bad because they don't know the difference, and that's a very scary thing. You can take your children to therapy. You can take them to doctors. You can take them to counselors. You can talk to them yourself. You can go get them medicine because sometimes it is very, very hard for a kid to deal with this. When he's 8 years old and he's talking about some grown man touched his pee-pee, like that's very sad to hear from a little kid when they don't even know what that means. Different children learn very different ways. So they talk different ways and they're just different. So depending on how your child is, whether um, they're a big softy or they're a hard, they're hard, you know how your child is. So the best way you know them is the best way. You should probably come up with a way to talk to them about this. It's not easy to talk about whether you're the one being talked to or the one being talked at. If you want, there's also a website online. You can go online to check for predators in your neighborhood and around their schools. All you have to do is type in your address and it'll pop up a map, and there will be dots at the places where the predators live. I've checked this myself. In my neighborhood, right behind where I live, I have three sexual predators. Um, and I've also learned that I had searched in my grandmother's neighborhood too, and in her neighborhood, she has one predator, and my sister goes over there all the time. And what's even worse about that is that my grandma and my mom talk to him. They know him. So that I had told my mom that, he's a sexual predator, and I had even showed her his profile online, kind of scared her. And it's just, you just never know nowadays. You should always be aware of your surroundings. Know who's around you, who's around your kids. I'm not saying, be overly protective or, scan their fingerprints, see if they've been in jail or nothing, but just be aware of your surroundings. That's all there is. The signs, I want to talk to you about the signs. When you notice that your kid doesn't like being around you or a person in general, or you're finding your kids, they have no clothes on when they wake up, but you had them in clothes when they went to bed, or your kid all of a sudden wants to be by your side 24/7, but they didn't want to before that. When your kid tells you that somebody has been touching them in lower areas and they don't even know what it is, when they start having an attitude out of nowhere, not just because they're, becoming a teenager or nothing, but just, they start getting an attitude, or you hear them crying in their sleep, or say, "Don't touch me there," or you hear them yelling or something in their sleep. There's a few different signs depending on the situation and how old the kid is, and how close the kid and the parent is. If you notice something is wrong and you have that mother or father intuition, then you should probably ask or take them to therapy. It's always safe to be on the safe side, because for me personally, I have been sexually assaulted, and I've held that for a long time before I actually told somebody. And when I did actually tell somebody, I felt better. Like, I felt like this big, like, block was lifted off my shoulder. And it's not easy to tell people. It's not easy to tell one person, no matter who it is, no matter how close they are to you. It's not an easy thing to do. So don't enforce that they tell you, because that might make them want to keep it in even more. And keeping feelings to yourself, later on you can just explode on somebody for no reason, or you can get depression, or you can do bad things to yourself. You can start doing drugs, start doing alcohol. you can start getting abusive because this one dude sexually abused you, and you've kept it in for so long that you just feel like you need to be in rage all the time, and that's not good. That's not a good way to live your life. And I should know this from personal experience. That is why this topic is just so close to me. So I just wanted to open your eyes. I wanted to give you info about child molestation, and I really do hope you have learned something, because every day we live, we need to be careful. We need to be thankful, and that we're living healthy lives is is a very good thing. I just wanted to cover this. There are programs that you can go to, whether it's you or your kid. Like I said, there's therapy, there's counseling. Go to doctors. Let's just talk about this and help others from their grief. I hope you learned something.